Awesome.
Okay.
So,
Chris?
all right. So you guys may want to mute your phones for now so we get good audio. So excited today. We've got Sheila McSporn with the founder and the CEO of Design File, who I know several of you use. We're really excited. This is a hot category, e-design, but I know a lot of you are using it to do more staging and renovation business. And so not only is it a design product, but there's a project management function I wasn't aware of. So it looks like there's other features that we could use in the business. So, and we're excited. So Sheila, I'm going to hand it off to you and take it away.
Okay, sounds great. So let me just go ahead and make sure that this screen share is up and, oh, hold on a second. Matt, it looks like you'll have to give me access to share my screen.
Okay, I think I made you a co-host. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go.
Okay, let me try it again.
Okay.
Okay, it looks, let's see here.
I think you're co-host. Did you go to the
Yeah,
bottom?
the funny thing is that I'm actually just seeing that
Let me just.
I have the ability to share a whiteboard or simple notes, but
I'm going to make you the host.
Okay, let me know when that's set up.
All right, that's done.
Okay, I'm gonna try doing this one right here. Normally there's like a share full screen, so I'm gonna just try that.
All right, there we go. There we go.
All right, you seeing design files on there?
Yep.
All right,
live.
perfect.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not sure how many of you have had a chance to check out design files or if you've heard of it. But Matt and I were talking the other day, and it sounds like it could be a platform that could help a lot of you out with your design services, your staging services. So today I'm just here to kind of talk about what we have and see if it will be a good fit for you guys. So if you haven't had a chance to check out design files, just to kind of give you an idea of what it is in a nutshell, what we're really trying to do here is provide interior designers, decorators, and stagers with design and project management software that will cover every step of a client project. So from start to finish, you should be able to find the tools you need to complete your projects within design files. And I am, Matt, are you still in control of allowing people to come in? Because I see them coming in, or should I just do that on my end?
Oh, yeah, I think you're going to have to do it since you're the host.
Okay, no worries. I will go ahead and do that.
Thanks.
So today I thought it might be kind of fun to just kind of go through the platform, check out a few of the features, show you guys what it can do. And if anybody has any questions, I'm thinking that it would probably be easiest if we just go through the presentation and I can address those questions at the end of it. So if that sounds good, I'll go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Okay. So just to give you a sense of how design files works, like I said, what we're trying to do is create design and project management software that will help you kind of simplify or streamline every single aspect of your business. So when you log into the Design Files platform, the very first page you're going to see is your projects page. Your projects page is where you're going to see all the projects that you have on the go. And you can view your projects in two ways. So over here, you'll see you've got a grid mode. If you just want to see all your projects listed out, each one will be listed as its own separate digital folder. So it keeps all your project information nice and organized. But you can also switch over into a workflow mode. And a lot of our designers like this because the workflow mode allows you to start grouping your projects into various stages, like in progress, pending feedback from the client, in the purchasing stage, and completed. And you can just move your projects through the system as you complete them. So it allows you to just come in and quickly see at a snapshot, these are the projects that I really need to focus on for today, and I can see where everything else is. And you also have the ability to see incoming projects as well. So the incoming projects that you see here, the way that is set up within the design file system is that you have links that you can add to your website or to your blog or even to your social channels. And it allows a potential customer to click on a link, fill out a design questionnaire, and request a design consultation or design project from you. And if you choose to use those links, all of those incoming jobs will be funneled into your projects page. So you can see all of these potential jobs. You can click on them, review all the project details. And if you like the look of it, great. You'll have that client's contact information. You can follow up with them and then kickstart into that job. Now I'm going to jump into one of the actual projects here. So let's click into this one. And if I go into, well, actually, let me just back it up one step here. So I'm going to go back to my projects page. If I ever wanted to create a brand new project within my Design Files account, all I have to do is come in and click the new project button here. And then I would give this project a name. So we'll just call this sample project. And down here, you'll see that I have the option to also add a questionnaire to this project. So if you like the idea of being able to send out design questionnaires to your client and have them fill it out and provide you with all the project specific details, here you can select which questionnaire you want to add to the project. And within your Design Files account, it does come with a default questionnaire that you can customize fully to your business. And you also have the ability to create multiple questionnaires. So if you have different types of services like color consultation, staging, e-design, and you have different questions that you want to ask depending on the job that you're taking on, you can create a questionnaire for each. When I create that project, you'll see right here. Here's the link where I can invite the client to complete the design questionnaire. I would just put their email address in here and I would add a custom message and click this button to send that questionnaire directly out to my customer. And if I do that, the system's just going to go ahead and send an email out to your client. It'll be branded to your business and it'll just have a simple message that says, please take a moment to fill out our design questionnaire and tell us all about your project. And when your client does that and they submit it back to you, you're going to get notified by email that your client has filled out the questionnaire. And when you come into your project, all you'd have to do is click this link and all the information that they provided within that questionnaire will show right here. It immediately gets saved to your project, so you have everything in one place, and you can come back and review this anytime you are working your way through your project. Now, I am going to jump into one of our active projects here because I want to show you some of the different design tools that you have access to and also some of the different functionality that's available to you within each and every client project that you take on. So when you're in a project, you'll see the navigation for the project up here. So within Design Files, you can create design boards and you have both a 3D floor planner. So you can do top-down black and white floor plans or full 3D designs. And you also have a mood board software, which allows you to create simple mood board designs like this and more detailed full room designs like this one right here. And we'll go through all of that just directly. Also within your client projects, you have the ability to create quotes, invoices, and purchase orders. There is a tracker that you can use to track all of your purchase orders so you can keep on top of all those moving parts. Spec sheets are coming very shortly. This is a new feature. You won't see it in your account just yet. You're just seeing it in my account because this is an admin account. Over here, you can add notes to your project as well, which allows you to create little to-do lists, and you can uncheck or check off these little tasks that you've added as you go through the project. And that way nothing gets left behind or forgotten. Over here, you've got your activity feed. This tracks all the interactions you and your client have within the project. So anytime they log in, anytime they pay for an invoice, view an invoice, approve a quote, leave feedback on a product or review a design, all of that gets tracked through the activity feed and you'll see the exact day they did it on. And over here, you also have a time tracker. So if you want to track the time that you're spending on your projects, you can select which project you're working on, add a note indicating what task you're working on, and start your timer. And if you do that, you'll be able to track all the hours that you're spending on a project. You can stop your timer whenever you finish that task, and all of the time that you are working on the project gets tracked here. So you'll see the full breakdown of how much time you're spending on each task. And that'll give you a sense of where you're really spending the majority of your time. And then you can start thinking about ways that you can streamline that down. And of course, all of these hours can get pulled into invoices as well, so you can bill your client for your time. Now, if I was kickstarting a project with a client, and let's say that I've already had them fill out the design questionnaire and they've submitted it back to me. So now I've got lots of information on this project and I've had another conversation with my client and we're both feeling good about it. And now I want to send out a detailed contract so that I can get sign off and make sure that we're both on the same page. So if I wanted to send a digital contract out to my client, I could come into the More section here and click into contracts. And here I'd be able to just click this button to add a contract, add my client using this drop down. And if I haven't added them to the system yet, I can just add them here. I'll give my contract a title. Right now, I'll just put in gibberish, but you can put in actual titles. And if you have your contract written out as maybe you've got it saved as a Word doc or a PDF or something like that, you could literally copy and paste the entire thing in here. And if you do that, you'll see over here that you can save it as a preset, which is great because if this is a standard contract that you typically send out to all your clients, save it as a preset, and then you can load in those contracts for any future projects. And then it'll just fill in and you can change out any minor details like the client's name, the dates, etc. Now down here, you'll see that you can get your client to provide a signature. So you would just sign this yourself. So I'll add in my name, and then down here, I could send this contract out to my client. It'll open up this field where I can add in my own subject line, my own email message, and I can send the contract off to my client. And again, the system's just going to send out an email. It'll have a simple message that says your contract is ready to review, and it'll provide your client with a link. And if they click on that link, I'm just going to save this as a draft and preview it so you'll see what your client will see. They're going to be brought to a page like this, and they'll see your logo, not ours, and they can read through the contract. They can click here to agree to the terms. They can sign off on the contract. And when they click this button right here, a saved version of this contract will be added to your client project and also to their client portal. So both parties always have access to this document. Now let's say that I have collected all kinds of information from my client. In my questionnaire, there is the option for my client to provide images of their space as well as provide a hand-drawn floor plan. So if I feel like I've got enough information to move forward with this project, I could kickstart into creating some designs. And within each client project, I can add as many designs as I like. And I can either create mood boards or floor plans. So if I click this button right here to add a design, the system will ask me what I want to use. So I can either jump into the mood board software or the floor plan software. And so you would just click one of these and it's going to open it up. So to give you an idea of, we'll start with the mood board one, to give you an idea of what you can create with the mood board software. You could create simple mood board designs like this, where you're just gridding product out on a white backdrop. Or you could create a more detailed full room design like this, where you start layering products one in front of the other to give it more of the illusion of a full space. And it helps your client visualize how these items are going to work. If I want to edit the design, I would just click Edit Design here, and it'll open up the mood board software. And here I'll be able to use a variety of different tools to distort products, to remove backgrounds, crop items, layer items, and just build out my designs. And over here on the right side panel, I'm just going to get rid of this zoom option here. Over here in the right side panel, we do provide a product library. So it has over 750,000 products in it at this time. You can search by keyword here within products, or you can go into the vendors tab here and you'll be able to see all the different collections that are available. And you can go into any of these collections and then you can browse that specific collection. You do also have your own personal library. So if you're looking through this list and you're just thinking, this isn't really the collection of brands that I like to pull from, that's totally fine. We get it. Every designer has their own preferred brands. So over here, you have your personal library, and there's two ways that you can add items to your personal library. There is an upload button right here. So if you've got images saved to your computer, you could just go ahead and select the files from your computer and save them to your library. And when you do that, you'll be given the opportunity to include all the product information. So that's one way that you could do it. But we also have a browser clipper tool. And it's hands down the #1 tool that all of our designers grab when they first create their design files account, because it'll just save you loads of time when you're sourcing products. And it allows you to go to any vendor's site and grab all the product images and all the product details and just save it directly to your design files account. So if I was browsing CV2 here and I wanted this chair for one of my client projects, all I have to do is click the add to design files option in my bookmarks bar. And I'll show you how to add this just directly, but just so you can see it in action. When you click the add to design files option, you'll see your clipper expand out from the right side of the screen. It's already grabbed this image right here, but just for the sake of argument, let's say I want this image on the clean background. If I want this image, I'm just going to click on it to expand it to the full size. And then I'm going to click the image picker here, click on the image that I want, and it's going to fill it in. And I also have the ability to clip additional product images, which is really handy, especially if you're planning on creating more of that full room design. So if you want to be able to see the chair from the side, the front, the back, that's when you would want to start grabbing all of these additional product images here. So if I want, I would click this one, click on the full image just to make sure that I zoom it in. And then I'm going to click the little grab icon here, and I'm going to click on the image. And then you can just grab all the various versions of it. So it's quick and easy, and it allows you to save all the different images. Down here, I'm going to grab, it looks like it's grabbed the product name, but it grabbed a little extra information. So just to clean that up, I'm going to click the grab icon, click on the product name, and that's all you're really doing. You use these grab icons to grab all those details so that you don't have to spend the time to type it all out. And of course, here, I've grabbed the retail price. So if you do have a trade account with a particular vendor, you could put in your trade price, and then you can include your markup, and the system will calculate the client-facing price for you. And that's the only price your client will ever see. Down here, if I want the details, I'm just going to expand it here, click the grab icon, click the details. If I want these dimensions, click the grab icon, click the dimensions. It's all going to fill in. So it's really quick and easy to use. You can fill out all the fields that you want. And before you decide to save this item to your design files account, you'll want to come up to this area where it says, where do you want to save the item? If you save it to your main library, you'll be able to use this item for any client project that you create. So it's a really good way to build up a database that you can use over and over again. And of course, if you want, you can also save it to an individual client project as well. So now I'm going to go to the bottom here, and I'll just save this item. And once that's saved, we'll be able to jump back over to my design files account. All right, perfect. And I'm going to go back into the editor. In here, I'm just going to click on my library. There's the chair. I can flip through, and I can grab whatever version I want and bring it out into my design. And if I grab an item that's shot on a clean white background, the system removes that white background so that I don't have to spend the time to do it. So it's nice, quick, it's easy. You can grab items from any website and immediately start building them into your designs. Now, I'm just going to lift up my mood board here a little bit, because you'll see down here that I've added text, and I've also added paint colors here. So there is a text library. If you want to add any notes or anything like that to your design board, you can just scroll through and find a font you like. And then over here, you can start typing in your message. And over here, you can change the font size, you can change the color, you could change the style of it. There's a lot of flexibility here, and you can place your notes wherever you want within your design. And of course, there's a paint color library as well. So if you want to include paint colors, we've got these collections built in, and you can just click on any collection, search by color name or color code, and drag the color out onto your design board. It'll show as a big paint swatch. You can scale it up and have it as a backdrop color, scale it down, and you can also crop it over here if you prefer to have circles instead of squares like I do, and then just line it up with all your other paint swatches to create a nice color scheme. Okay. Now there are videos that will show you how to create your mood board designs. So just for the purposes of this call, I think it's probably more useful for us to just go over some of the other functionality and tools that are within design files. And then I can point out some videos for anyone who's interested in seeing more of the mood board tools in action. But when you create your mood board designs, you definitely want to hit the save button here to save your designs. Mine's already saved, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit back to app. And when I save my design board, it will show as a separate page within my project. So you can see here that this is one of 153 designs. You guys are probably never going to have 153 designs within a project. It's just because this is my demo account, but you can create loads of design boards within each project. And if you save them, when you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see that your entire product list has already been generated for you. So you don't have to waste any time at all pulling together all that product information and all the product images. It just automatically happens. It will include every item, all the product information. There is the ability to increase quantity here as well. So if you need 8 dining chairs, you can just bump up the quantity, and it will also adjust the overall total at the top of your product list. Now, depending on how you like to work with your clients or the type of project that you're taking on, for instance, if this was an e-design project and you just wanted to let the client shop the look themselves, you could leave all the product information here, including the shop buttons. And all you'd have to do is go to the top of the page, click the button to submit the designs to the client, add their email address here, turn on the toggles for any designs that you want them to be able to access, and keep the toggles turned off for any designs you don't want them to see yet. And then just add your message and submit the designs to your client. And when you do that, they'll get an email. It'll tell them that there's designs that are ready to review, and it'll provide them with the link to come in to the project and review it. And when they click that link, they'll come in to their client-facing view. So I'm just going to click this to preview it as a client. You'll see that they don't have access to any controls that you have access to. They can just see the design board, and they can flip through using the arrows to see any other designs that you've shared. And if they scroll down, they'll see the full product list where they can approve products, they can decline products, they can leave messages for why they're declining a product, and they can also just leave feedback. So if they like this table here, but they want to see if it comes in a different finish, they can click the comment icon here, put in a comment, post it, and anytime they make any selections or leave comments, you're notified by email. So you always know when to come back in and review. And if this was an e-design job, your client could also just click the shop button and then pop right over to the vendor site and purchase this product. Okay, so now let's look at this as if it's not an e-design project and you want to be in charge of maybe ordering product on behalf of your client. If you feel like expanding your services to take that on, then you could choose to come down here, and there's a button right here that says manage what client sees. So here you can actually hide product specific details from your client so they can't try to source those products without you. So you might choose to hide the product name and the vendor's name, the SKU, the shop buttons. You can hide whatever details you want from your client. Technically, you could hide the entire product list if you wanted to and just show them the design boards. It's completely up to you. And if you want to see what it looks like before you invite your client in, you again, just preview the project as the client. And this time when we come down, it's just the cost of the product, quantity, approve, decline, and comment. So you've got total control over what your client will see. Okay. Now, there are different ways that you can choose to present to your client. If you have a client that, let's say they don't want to, I don't know, they don't want to come in and use the system online for whatever reason. They prefer to just get maybe a PDF presentation from you. If you have clients like that, you can absolutely do that. So up here in the button with the 3 dots, you can download a client presentation as a PDF. And if I click on this, it's going to show me every single design board that I've created. It's going to include full product lists and any design rationales that I've added. And I could choose to include everything and send it out to my client. Or I could choose to get really specific, and I could choose to share maybe 1 or 2 key design boards and a product list. And if I go to the bottom here, I'll be able to switch between portrait or landscape. The landscape will give you larger design boards, so you might want to use that, and then just generate the presentation. And then again, the system's just going to go ahead and create that PDF for you, and it'll be branded to your business, not design files. So if you took the time to go into your account settings and add in your company logo, your company colors, and your business information, every page, every email, every screen in your design files account, it's all branded to your business. Here you can see the large design board, the total cost for the design, which you can choose to hide if you want. And then we've got the full breakdown for the entire product list. And again, you have full control over what product information shows within this product list. Okay, Now, let's see here, Matt, it's, I want to make sure I'm not hogging your whole meeting here. So I can go over, I can go over invoices and purchase orders and things like that. Or if you feel like I should be wrapping it up, just let me know. Matt, you might be muted.
Yep, sorry, that's me. Yeah, I think we're probably gonna have a lot of questions, so we may want to just open it up for questions for people at this point, if that's okay.
Yeah, it totally is. I just want to make sure that I'm being respectful of the time. So
Right.
yeah, we can go ahead, and if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to address that. And I can also share, I could point out some videos if people are interested in seeing how invoices and purchase orders work.
Okay. Now, on our previous call, we asked people who are using design files just their feedback, and one piece of feedback was it was difficult to do fireplaces. So I don't know if you've seen that before. Is that a common issue?
So is that within the floor planner or is it within the mood board software?
Floor planner.
Floor planner. Okay. So there are, if you go into the floor planner, so the one that we just went over was kind of more of the mood board software. In the floor planner here, if you look for fireplace, you should see a number of options that are going to come up here. So let me just kind of scroll through, and then you can pick any of these and apply them to your designs. So there are a number of options. If there are specific styles or something like that that you'd like to see, you can always let us know, and then we can build in models to address that. But
The
right
other
here,
issue that we had was with stairs.
with the stairs, yeah. So right now, the floor plan software, it is going to allow you to create a single floor. So we're still working on the ability to add multiple floors to a space. So we can definitely keep you posted and see and let you know when that's available. Right now, I'd recommend creating just like the main floor and then having a separate floor plan for the upper or the basement.
How do you account for where the stairs are?
I'm sorry?
How do you account for where the stairs are in your floor plan?
There are new staircases that are available. So if I just put in staircase, you should see some new options that are available now, and you can add these into your design so that you're indicating where the stairs are.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you have questions, you want to put them in the chat section, I can ask them for you. I know we're getting quite a few questions. It's
Okay.
fire away. All right, are you adding the fireplace somehow?
Oh, sorry, I can absolutely add in the fireplace. So let's say you can see here that I've already added this one in, but let's remove it. Okay, so I'll delete this. I'll come back into fireplace. And then I could just find one that I like, click on it, and then I'm going to add it to the wall over here. I'll let that load in. Now, when I add it, I'm just going to pull it forward a little bit. And I'm going to rotate this one around because it looked like it was facing the wrong way. You see this rotation arrow right here? The rotation arrow is telling you that this is the front of the product. Personally, when I am adding items to my designs, I find it easier to add the items in this mode, in the kind of top-down black and white mode, because then I can see exactly where everything is. And then you can just kind of rotate it around and get it to line up with the actual space. And if you need to change the size over here, you would be able to change the dimensions. And then if I go back into my 3D perspective mode, this one's floating above the ground here. So let me just bring this one down. There we go. See this up and down arrow right here? You just click on that and bring it down. And now I've got my fireplace added in. Does that answer your question?
Does that help?
Yes.
Okay. So let me go through the questions, Sheila. So one of them, I have design files. It's $55 a month. Does it have all these same features that we've seen? So
Yeah, it's got all the features. Everything
Okay.
that you're seeing in today's call, it's available within the plans.
Another question, I like the windows, did not see how to add that to the floor plan.
Okay. When I am building out a floor plan, I typically start by building out the black and white, just basic floor plan like this. So normally what I would do is I'm just going to go over here. I'd build out my walls. So let's just say your client has a bit of a square or rectangular space. I'm just going to, let me slow that down a little bit. I'll do this again. If your client has a square or rectangular space, you can click on this template here, click anywhere within the actual grid, move out your mouse and click to release. And if I zoom in, I'll see the individual measurements for these walls. If I want to add windows, down here is the door, window, and trim library. Here's the window options. And here you'll find lots of options to choose from, okay? So there's different colors, different stains, different kind of layouts. And when you find one that you like, click on it. You just move your mouse over to your floor plan. And you can see when I'm hovering over the wall, it's showing exactly where I'm going to place it. So I'll see the measurements on either side and the width of this window. And over here on the right side, I can change the distance from the floor, the width, and the height. Okay. If I wanted to duplicate this, there's a duplicate option right here. It'll give me the same window and I can just duplicate it and add it elsewhere on my plan. And if I go ahead and jump into the 3D perspective mode, I'm just going to slide my screen over here so I can see the other floor plan that I have created. And there's my windows there.
So would you build each individual, if you were doing a first floor of a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, do you do each individual room or can you do it as one?
Here I've done it as one. So right now you can see I've got this separate bathroom and then my living room area in the hallway here. So you could choose to combine it all as one floor, or I also have designers who like to create individual rooms as well and just have a separate floor plan for each room. It's completely up to you and how you'd like to approach it.
That's a lot easier than a lot of
Okay. So if they have questions like this, like how to do a window or fireplace, is this not in your training, like a video that they could find?
Yeah, absolutely. So within design files, if I just go back to my account here, you'll see a learn section. You would go down to videos and webinars, and here it'll take you into our video tutorial library. Anytime we put out a new feature, I put out a detailed video to go along with it. So there are loads of videos on creating mood board designs, creating more of a realistic full room mood board design. And over here, you've got your video that's specifically on using the floor planner. And it walks you through it step by step from creating walls, adding doors, windows, fireplaces, changing out paint colors, everything, all the way through to the 3D rendering. So you can definitely check out the videos. What I've heard from our audience is that the videos make it really quick and easy to get up and running because they're short, they're detailed, and it takes you through step by step.
Okay, awesome. I want to make sure we get through other questions. How do you start a 3D board and how do you add to your library items like you did with CB2?
Okay, so 2 things to just be aware of there. So within design files, you get the mood boards software and you get the 3D floor plan software. They're 2 totally separate softwares. So if you're using the browser clipper and you are grabbing images from CB2 or anywhere else online, those are just flat JPEG images. So you can add them to the mood board software, but you can't grab any image online and use that item within the 3D floor planner because anything that goes into the 3D floor planner has to be built out as a 3D model in order for it to be accurate size and to be seen from all angles. So what a lot of our designers will do is they'll create a mood board that includes all the exact products that they're recommending for their client. And then they'll use our 3D floor planner here and they'll use any of the models within the 3D floor planner. So you can find something that's similar to what you're recommending and use it as a placeholder within your floor plan design so that your client can get a sense of what the layout is going to be. Now, one of the things that we have done recently, first of all, I mean, let's say this isn't the exact sectional, but it's similar looking. Down here, you can change the dimensions to make sure that it does match the dimensions of the actual product. And one of the things that we added in recently is a new color filter. So now you can change the color of the 3D models that we have to make sure that items more closely resemble the products that you're recommending for your client space and in the right colors.
That's so much easier than live.
All right. Thank you there. So next question. This has potential as an inventory management tool also. If we take photos of our in-house inventory, can we use those in designs? Any tricks for taking the photos?
3D picture.
Yeah, so if you're taking photos of products, definitely one of the things that I would recommend, I'm going to go into the mood board area, because if you're taking photos of products, you'll be using them within the mood board software. If you want to take photos of products, my recommendation to you would be to kind of get up close to your products, kind of squat down and shoot the product straight on, okay? So that you have the product nice and clean like this from a front angle. I'd also recommend taking shots of the product from the side, from the back, and that way, whenever you want to build it into a design, you've got all the different angles that you need in order to create a fuller room design using the mood board software. If you're just planning on creating just a simple mood board design, you might find that you only need that one product shot that's kind of square on from the front. So just keep things like that in mind, because if you're taking photos of, let's say you walk into your client's space or you've walked into a store and you take a photo of a product kind of angled down and on an angle, it's not going to look as nice in your mood board design as if you took the time to just kind of square it up, get level with it, and get it shot square on. I hope that makes sense.
Okay, awesome. How do you get sink faucet to set into the sink on top of the counter?
Okay, so again, I think that we're probably talking about the floor planner here. So let me back out of this one. And let's see if I've got a design in here that has more of a kitchen design. This one will do. Okay. I'm just going to let this one load in. We'll go into the 3D perspective mode here. I'm just going to rotate it around. And I'll give this just a minute to load in because we've got quite a few items within it. Okay, so you can see I've got my counters here. This is one that I just changed the color of it just to test things out. If I wanted to look for, okay, so let's look for maybe a faucet. Oh my goodness, if I spell it correctly, I'll make it a lot easier here. Okay, so there's individual ones like this. So these look like more bathroom ones, but if I was just going to use one just for the sake of it, I can click on this and I can place it on top of my countertop here, and it will load in on top of the countertop. See it loading in here? And then if I was to, I'll have a quick look for a kitchen sink here, and let's see if we can get this to load in. Okay, so if I think this looks like one here, I'm going to click it right here and let it load in. This is huge, so bear with me. I mean, you could change the size of it if you wanted to. Let's change the depth of it, I guess. We'll make it a little bit thinner. And if I want to, you can see that it's sitting on top of the counter here. So again, I would use the option. Okay. So what I'll need to do is I'll talk to the team and we'll see about getting that set up. I do know that they're working on kitchen features, kitchen specific features for 2022. So when we started out with our floor planner, we did start out with a focus on rooms like living room, dining room, bedroom, home office. So there are extra kind of tools and functionality that will need to be built in for kitchens and bath. And I will talk to them about this so we can get that set up for you.
That would be great, because my sink kept hiding underneath my counter and my faucet was floating in the air.
Okay, if the faucet is floating in the air, definitely use the arrow tool right here to bring it up and down.
All right, next question. How do you handle an open floor plan with different ceiling elevations? Example, kitchen ceiling is 9 feet, but the great room ceiling is 18 feet.
Is it a sloped ceiling in the house? Or is it, I guess it would have to be unless,
No,
because,
not a slope ceiling. So you have one open, it's open floor plan and the kitchen and the family room are together. The ceiling elevation in the family room might be 18 feet and the ceiling elevation in the kitchen might be 9 or 10 feet. So there might be
Okay.
another room above the kitchen, but there is no room above the family room. It's just open to the roof line. So we couldn't, and we have a lot of floor plans like that in our market, and we can't figure out how we make a 2-story fireplace
okay.
that you can see from the kitchen that it only has 9 or 10 foot ceilings. See what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, I think so. So let me open up this plan because we've got a bunch of different, I'm just trying to think about how I would approach that. Because you can choose in your floor plan designs. Let's open up this one. You can change oh, I've resaved it. Okay, give me 1 second here. Let's make sure I've got one here. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, I've gone ahead and saved over this one. So don't save over your floor plans. Okay, I just want to create another space here because you can choose to change the height of individual walls. So I'm wondering if that would cover the need here. Like if we changed one of these walls here to be, I don't know, 140 inches or something like that instead of the 108.
Okay.
And then you'd have the ability to, but again, I think I'd have to talk to the team to see how that would work, because you can change it so that
Mhm.
these walls in here might be your lower kitchen walls, and then
Mhm.
you would have an open space and the larger wall on the opposite side.
Mhm.
I'd have to see the actual floor plan to see how I would approach it, but I do think there's probably a way that we could make that work.
Okay. But the real key is so where we would probably run into is where you have a common wall and that wall you'd have to set it up basically as 2 walls, even though it was connected. One wall with a height of 18 feet and one wall with a height of 10 feet.
Yeah, so here, if I added a break into the wall, then I
Mhm.
would be able to adjust the height of either side of the wall.
I see.
So, yeah, so here, let's just for the sake of argument, I'll make this half 140 as well. And then if I go into this and I pull it out, you can see that you've got the extra height on this section of the wall. So you would add
Right.
breaks.
Yep, I see that.
Okay.
All right, well, I don't know if we're gonna get to every question because we're running out of time. Let's see. For new construction or reno homes, we often have a floor plan plat. Can that help to start the project?
So sorry, did you say you already had a floor plan that you've got from a
Right.
different, okay. So that's not something, like you wouldn't be able to bring that floor plan into design files and have it automatically turn into an editable floor plan within our floor planner. So it is something that has been discussed internally. The team is looking into it. If I'm being honest with you, it's probably not something that's going to be available until towards the end of 2022, just because it's a bit of a complicated build.
All right, so we're gonna have to break at this point with Sheila. We have other things to cover, but Sheila, can you give us, I guess, a big question, how do they sign up? What does pricing look like? And if they wanna move forward, what should they do?
Sure. So first things first, if you are interested in testing out design files, all you have to do is go to designfiles.co and you can try it for free. So you can click this button or you can click this button. You can create a trial account. The trial account allows you to have 1 client project, but there's no time limit on it. So you can really give it a solid test run and see if it's a good fit for you. And it allows you to have access to all of the tools. You can create as many design boards, invoices, floor plans as you like within that client project. And if you do like it, then you can pop over to the plans and pricing page, and here you'll see our plans. So there is a starter plan. It allows you to have up to 3 client projects, gives you access to all the tools, and it's $35 a month. But just know that if you wanted to create a 4th project, you'd have to delete one of your previous 3, or you could upgrade to the professional plan. It is our most popular plan, mainly because designers want to have a full history of all of their projects. So it's unlimited client projects, and it's $55 a month. Your team plan, $55 a month, and an additional $15 for each additional team member you have. And all the plans have a 90-day money back guarantee. So test it for 3 full months. And if you decide it's not for you, you let us know and you get all your money back.
Awesome. Well, I will be sharing more with our franchisees in our newsletters, and I appreciate your time. Great presentation.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
thanks so much for having me. It was nice to talk to everyone.
All right. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
Bye.
All right. You guys enjoy.
All right. See you later.
Bye. Oh, hold on a second before I cancel this. Matt, I'm the controller of this meeting.
Yeah, I think
so
you have
don't
to
wanna-
get me. Yeah, that would be bad.
Okay, so let me just take a second here and see how I give that back to you. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave the meeting myself instead of canceling out the meeting. So it looks
Okay.
like we should be good to go. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
See
I
what
hope I don't
happens.
mess everything up for you guys. Bye.
Okay. We may have to just stay here for
Oh,
hours.
here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. It works. Assign and leave. So I'm going to give it to you, Matt.
All right. Thank you.
All right, guys. Bye.
All right. Great. So I was going to have Laura Lee take over. Laura Lee, you still there? I think I
I'm
see-
here. I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, so Laura Lee has been a design files user for a while, and we've paid for her to go through a training with Audra Slinky, who's, you see her on RISA all the time, and she's a big staging trainer. And so Laura Lee, I'm trying to find you. I was going to give you user rights so you could maybe show them how this applies to the world of show homes. So I'm going to make you co-host. Okay.
It's like Chris and Lisa are in the Matrix.
They're disappearing.
Lisa,
What's
Lisa
happening?
keeps disappearing.
They're having some peyote or something. So,
For a minute, it was just her arm flying around.
all right. Laura Lee.
Okay,
this-
I'm trying to figure this out. Now, hang on a second. Now you get to
Okay.
see, you get to see me. Okay.
I see you
Let
now.
me see
Okay.
how do I share my screen?
Share screen. For me, I go to the bottom to the green button.
Okay, it says one participant can share at a time. Okay, so how do I share my screen?
Okay, I will make you the host. Let's try that.
Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Figured it out. Okay,
Okay.
bear with me. All right,
All right, it's working. Okay.
okay.
So, how long have you used the product?
I guess 6 months or so, maybe longer, maybe more like 8 or 9 months, I think.
Okay.
I have to go back and see when I signed up.
Weren't you using it at conference last year?
Oh, maybe I was.
That was a few months ago. Okay, go ahead.
Time is
So-
going by so quickly lately. I don't know. So these are my projects right now, and this one here is a design client that I'm working with to develop a family room for her. So I've mostly been using it for design clients who want to really kind of see how visually how their furniture and accessories will come together in their particular project or their room that we're working with. So I'm not an expert by any means, but a lot of the things that she was showing today, I'm very familiar with. This one, I think I've shown some of you at one point. This was a condo where the lady wanted to redesign her entire space. Basically, the kitchen, she wanted the entire kitchen redone. So I was able to kind of go in and give her that 3D perspective on how that would look. It's taking a minute because there's so much involved in this one.
Laura Lee, as you're doing those things, when you're using standard formatting for kitchen cabinets and things like that,
Mhm.
do you like the library that's available to you? Does it give you plenty of things to plug in from a standard look?
Yes, for the most part. I do have to remind the client that the things I'm showing them in the 3D floor plan are representative of the items we would be selecting. They're not the
Yeah.
actual items. So, you definitely have to tell the client that, we're going to find something very similar to this, but
Yeah,
this is not
purely
the-
directional.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Well,
So,
I've been using Live 3D. I've been listening to you every time you talk about this, and then watching the other girl. This seems like it's quite a bit easier than using Live 3D.
I've never used Live 3D, so I don't have a perspective on
easier.
that.
It's
But
easier.
the thing she said about stairs, it's definitely challenging. You see the stairs here. I was doing the best I could because if you go behind this wall, you go up the stairs to the next floor. But it was beyond me how to figure out how to make that work. So, I did the best I could, but it didn't affect necessarily, the project per se. Yeah, there's a lot in here. So I wanted to kind of give you the spin around where you could see the whole room. What I love about this too is like you can add curtains and you can add, really, really give it that full comprehensive look so that the client can visualize it. Because as we know, even in staging, 90% of people can't visualize. So when you give a design client or maybe a potential builder or, someone that needs to see it, the visual perspective of what that's going to look like, it's a game changer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really happy with it and love using it. The problem I have for me personally is just sitting down and finding the time. But when I start doing one, I really love it. So it's almost a really fun way to, use your creative skills. This one I did recently. Here's another perspective. Yeah, and just feel free to ask any questions.
So Laura Lee, I mean, besides current staging work, you're actually looking at this as a revenue stream where you can start charging X amount per room, correct?
Correct. And I'm really interested in, having the e-design as a revenue option because there's so much potential revenue in that. That's really, really, really easy. So I think that I am really headed in that direction. For a minimal amount of my time, I can provide e-design and I don't even have to work with somebody locally. It could be somebody, across the country who wants a design. They want to have a board and they want to know where to source the product and they want to pay me or pay one of us for that particular design and those resources. And so it can be anywhere from a couple $100 per room based on how much service you're providing or $500 or $600 or $700 per room. So
yeah, we're currently charging $750 per room for e-design, and we've done a couple.
Yeah,
But the ones we've done have been local people just because we've met them through networking and other events. But I've actually had friends ask me to do it on the other side of the country, and I've been declining because I'm, out of territory. I don't know what's going to happen when
Can we do e-design without being out of territory?
That was the question I was going to ask Matt.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the Boston zip codes don't match my territory. So
I think we're going to have an internal discussion. So I think if it's not in another franchisee's territory, we can come up with something. Where it's an issue is if you start doing it in another location. So that will be
Right.
something we're gonna need to address and think about.
Yeah, but if the other location doesn't provide e-design or, that would be a
And,
consideration too.
yeah, that's something else we'll have to consider.
Because it's
So,
not like we would take their staging clients,
Right.
especially if it's on the other side of the country or something,
So Yasmin saying, can someone at Design Files create the floor plan for us? So I think part of the point of, and I'm going to show you a couple of slides from the Audra Slinky presentation on her e-design course. It includes, is it 134 different designs or floor plans already done? And I mean, that seems like what would have taken you a long time, is just to
Right.
take the time to go put this all together.
Yes. So her training is a game changer because not only do you get the training, which is awesome, you also get access to all these amazing boards that she's already created with links to those products. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's already there for you. And you can tweak them, obviously, change them to what you would want. But it's like getting these e-design projects that you can then sell to potential clients as part of that training. So it is well worth the investment of that training. Absolutely.
It's worth pointing out, though, that what she gives us are the mood boards and the renderings, but not the 3D thing, right? Like she's not doing the floor plans. It's because this is not where the links to the products come. It's the other
Right.
piece.
It's simply mood boards. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and they're great. I've seen them. They're awesome. And I would totally want them too. So yeah.
So Laura, can you give me the presenter rights back?
Oh yeah.
How do we do this?
How do I do that? Sorry.
I don't know. I don't know why the co-host didn't work. You might have to exit and come back
Do that.
like Sheila did.
Actually, I think you should be able to click on the 3 dots on Matt's name and make him host.
Okay.
I don't see that.
If you put your mouse on Matt's picture, the 3 dots that come up on the right,
Oh, okay.
does it say make host on there?
Yes, thank you.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
No
Oh,
problem.
I'm the host now. All right.
Your old days are coming out, Catherine.
What?
I said your old days are coming out.
I spent a lot of time on Zoom. I've gotten to be the master.
All right. Are you seeing my screen now, guys?
Yep.
Yes.
So I'm going to send you this whole presentation. The first half is about e-design and all this stuff. So there's a lot of good info, but I think just to get to the heart of this project or this program. So the problem with the blank account is it just takes time. And so if you had a better resource in training, it would just speed up the process. And so you get all these templates. And so Laura, I think, what is your take on the quality and the style? Someone I talked to earlier said, well, my style is very unique to my market, but I don't know, this stuff looks fairly, I don't know, generic, but white sofas. I mean, I think most of us use a lot of this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all great. I obviously you can change, and if you didn't like a specific piece or didn't like 50% of the pieces or more, you can change those out to what you do like. But it gives you these great templates to work with that, I mean, literally would take you hours upon hours, if not weeks, to develop. So it's fantastic.
So you get the training, the templates. How long did the training take you to go through? You're muted. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Okay.
Sorry, I've got a house full of people here, so I'm trying to mute myself.
Okay.
I took my time to get through it. I could have gone through it faster, but really wanted to, not just go through it to go through it. I really wanted to take notes and be mindful about what I was trying to learn. So there's 21 different modules within it, and I'd say each one is 25 to 40 minutes. And the last little bit is the marketing of your e-design. And so that's optional. Once you get through the first 14, I think, then you have completed e-design and you have the certification. But then as a bonus, she gives you 7 more modules about how to market yourself as an e-designer, which is fantastic.
And how much did that class cost?
Well,
It was-
I'll get to that in a second, but you're also now an official e-designer. You have that certification.
That is correct, yes.
So you get 20 bedrooms, 12 offices, 12 dining rooms, and 8 nurseries. So let me just get to the point of this. So
Then you can take this information and pull it into the design files. You would use these as your mood boards that she was talking about. They're just pre-built.
Yes, you get them, you send your email address and it merges you into your design files account.
So as far as the pricing, it's normally $7.99. She's offering it to us for $6.99. It's about to go up to $8.99. But I have a special offer if you.
But wait.
But wait, there's more.
But wait,
What if the home office decided we would pay for this for everyone who uses it after your first project? We'll reimburse you 100%.
I'm in.
Yay!
Is that good?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
All
Sign me
right.
up.
So again, it's a 5-month. You also can get a discount through Audra for a 5-month discount price of $27.50. And you
How would
get-
that work if we already had an account though?
I gotta figure that one out because I haven't been able to get that going yet.
I
But I'm
would
sure
have you
there's.
talk to
I'm sure there's-
Audra.
And I didn't get the 3 months for free.
Well, you didn't go through Audra. So let's see. So I'm gonna send this to you guys tomorrow. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but you can review it. But again, you get over 100 e-design projects, and I don't know. I mean, you could just go through their training. They've got a few templates, but I don't know. I mean, Laura Lee, you tell me. I mean, it seems like this was well worth it. Well, especially if you don't have to, if we're paying for it. But how long would it have taken you to get up to where you are now if you didn't have this project?
Well, I mean, I was already pretty resilient with design files, and this training doesn't teach you so much about design files as it does about how to be an e-designer. And so, yes, she does teach you a few things about design files, but a lot of that you need to go into design files yourself and learn. She's teaching you how to be an e-designer. So, it's kind of two-part, and this is more about e-design and the value and resources you need. Yeah, it really gets you jazzed up about e-design because she was giving an example in one module where an investment of 9 hours of your time can yield 9 hours a week can yield you an additional $70,000 in annual income.
Wow.
So yeah, I think this is a really great addition to our portfolio of services with a minimal amount of our time invested because you have these boards to work with.
So Matt,
How is she coaching you to market the service that's making you 70,000 a year?
She talks you through how to market yourself on the internet and how to look at your competition. My mom's calling.
no, we said hi.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just really good. And her background is technology. So she has a lot of credibility when she talks about the marketing and the internet and those kind of things.
Looks like, and here's some emails that she offers that you can share with customers. So, I mean, it looks like what's interesting about it's not just how to use the tool, but it's also how to market the business with some templated items. So I don't
so
know.
Matt, what if you have additional members of your team that you want to go through this to be e-designers? Do we have to pay that $6.99 per person, or is there a discounted rate for people on your team?
No,
I
per
don't know if she-
person.
I don't know if she's discounting much, to be honest. She's already giving us a deal, but I would
person,
ask,
okay.
I would go directly to Audra with any specific questions like that. So why don't we go around the room? I'm just
Just one
curious.
second. If you do ask her that, would you be able to let us know?
Yes.
I do have the same question, and so I'd love to know that answer. Thank you.
So tell me, I'm just curious, what do you guys think of this? Something you think you would want to invest time and energy on?
I love it.
Too busy?
Well, I think so, because that's something that's become more, it's continuing to become more prevalent with what we do with clients wanting to see things. And it gives us a very professional look. Like I said, I've been doing these floor plans and designs in a program called 3D Home Live, which has been pretty good, but it's cumbersome, somewhat complicated, and the library doesn't have nearly the depth that this one seems to have as far as being current. It's got more European style stuff, which doesn't fit a lot of what we do. So it works out pretty well for a 2D design, but then when you start trading it over to 3D, it doesn't really live up to what we think we would want it to do. So I like this better than much. Looks like it's a lot easier to operate and more detailed than the one we're currently using.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to send out stuff in the newsletter tomorrow with more info on the offer and all the information and kind of next steps. So we think there's a lot of potential here. I think it could help you grow your current business, and e-design, if that could help you add 70 grand at with no inventory, that might be a nice addition to your bottom line profits. Okay, we are past time, but I'm just going to go over this real quickly because I'm going to send this to you tomorrow. So this has been a very long, painful process getting this website, and a big part of it. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we're moving to WordPress. There's a lot of things that connect to FranMan, and there's just we're using the WordPress blog, and there's a lot to it. But this is the national site. You've seen this before, but really what we're trying to accomplish here is show people, better what we do. So if you don't have video, you can put it in photos, but we think it'd be great for you to have some type of video showing you guys at work. But so that's one piece, but we want to do a better job of showing all of our work, showing all of our services, and getting them connected to you. So, and I'm just telling you right now, this thing this is not complete. We have like the walls and the framing up, and now we need to get to the fine finish out. And so it's probably 80%. So it's not going live for a couple of weeks, but bottom line, we're showing all the various services that we provide. And I know this needs to be rearranged, but that's one piece. We've got the about us. This is the video that we also created in South Carolina, but you can create your own or add your own piece. One of the big things is the dimensions are different. So for this type of deal, we think this is pretty slick. You'll be able to show your before and after. So we'll show you how to do that. There's lots of galleries. We're still gonna have a blog, still testimonials. The find show homes is gonna be a little different. I think it's actually a little easier to find than for people. So that'll show all of our locations around the country as well. Now, I think the thing you guys are probably most interested in is your local websites. And so this is just a generic one for right now. And I know it says of Charleston, so we'll make that change. A big change for us is we're moving to projects. I mean, I think that's how they do it on House, and that's really how the work we want people to look at. And we want to be able to show more photos. And when you do a home, we want you to be able to show all the photos in that house. And so there's not going to be a limit on photos ever. So you'll be able to show your projects, then you'll show your cool transformations here. And then, so you can enter as many of those as you want. It goes to the About Us, our services, success stories is still there, the blog. reviews and then the FAQ, and I think we're probably going to update the FAQ, and then we're moving more to a single contact point for your phone numbers, because not we want someone to call you. That's or fill out a form. And so we're probably 2 or 3 weeks away from getting this live. I'm going to send it to you. Anytime we roll these things out, it can take time to figure out, is there anything missing? As much as we try, there's going to be things that happen, and until we go fully live, you just won't know. So we'll do it over a weekend so we can make sure there aren't any major issues. But yeah, I mean, if you want to send me your questions or feedback or anything like that, we're not looking at making any major wholesale changes. There will be version 2, et cetera, like anything else. The other thing, just so you're aware, Showhome's Home Services, that's the rebranding that we're going to go with. And so I know we talked about this at conference. You look at our logos, you do a search on Google Images, we're a national company. We need one look, one logo. And so there's no more red, there's no more fences. So we're going to give people time to transition. So if you have cards or, vehicle wraps, it's not a big issue. I think the bigger thing right now is to change your online presence and footprint to the new colors. And so we'll be sending out the new system brand standards tomorrow, but we do want to have the same national look across the country. So we're excited about this thing. I think it's going to be a major step forward for us. It's going to be easier for the customer to navigate. You're seeing less, text, because frankly, I don't know if people are reading as much. I think they want to get to the point really quickly. And I think our work is what's going to sell this thing. So questions. Oh, I see one question. Let's see. Is the light green the new color for the website? Yeah, I mean, that is one of the colors. Yeah, so we are, that's one of the differentiators. So we are going to have, that's one of the on-trend differences. So yes. So questions from you guys, either way. There are no questions. I think everyone's tired after a long day. So, well, I'm going to send this out. There's a lot of stuff that will be in the newsletter tomorrow, but I appreciate everyone's time. So a lot of exciting things to share. So enjoy the rest of your night and weekend. Talk to y'all soon. All right.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.